Herkese merhaba arkadaşlar. Bugün The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe yani The Stanley Parable 2'yi oynayacağız. Bu arada The Stanley Parable 2 diye koymuşlar. Geçen bölümlerden kalma. Bir süredir video çekmiyordum. Bu arada oyunu başladım bir yandan da. Bir süredir video çekmiyordum. Kendimi çok iyi hissetmiyordum daha doğrusu. Ama dedim sürekli boşlamak olmaz. Bu videodan sonra The Stanley Parable yine oynayacağız. Ama hani yine videolarını çekeceğiz ama başka oyunlara da bakmak istiyorum. Aklımda birkaç oyun var. Birkaç oyun var. Onları yorumla yazarsanız pardon özür dilerim. Onların videolarını çekmeye başlayacağım. İlk oyun olarak Dishonored'ı düşündüm. İsterseniz Dishonored oynayabiliriz. Ben bitirmiştim Dishonored'ı ama Kova'yı hadi alalım Kova'yı da. Dishonored olabilir. Assassin's Creed serisi olabilir. Oyun şu an aşırı cozuttu bende. Droplar giriyor oyun içinde. Assassin's Creed serisi olabilir. Şu an harbiden oyun cozuttu bende. Bir saniye. Aynen daha iyi oldu. Assassin's Creed serisi olabilir, Prince of Persia serisi olabilir ya da böyle eski güzel oyunlar olabilir çünkü benim bilgisayarım çok fazla şey almıyor ama yani siz bilirsiniz, yorumlara yazın, aklınıza gelen herhangi bir oyunda varsa yazabilirsiniz. Buraları bildiğim için bu arada çevirmiyorum, yani çevirmeye gerek yok zaten. Az çok buraları biliyoruz. Eski nostalji yapabileceğimiz güzel oyunlar varsa Far Cry olabilir. Far Cry 1'den başlayabiliriz tekrardan. O güzel Stanley. Evet. Ana bebek. Ana kadın. Ana bro. Broom closet.
We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
Buraya da gireceğiz dedim girmedim. Büyük ihtimalle burada şey yok. Bıdı yapacak.
Because that's what fans want from the sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before. Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it. Don't you want another story involving?
We care about you, Stanley.
We could make the adventure line go somewhere new. Yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it.
Bu macera çizgisi, Adventure Life.
Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and
burasını değiştirmişler bu arada. Normal oyundaki halini de istiyorsanız atarım. Yani oynarız, atarız. Bunun şeyini açsam acaba audio.
Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Orijinal diyaloglar, falanlar, pişmanlar. Şu anda şey yaptı, orijinal diyalog dedi. Orada bir şey yok mu lan? Açılmıyordur orada. Dediğim gibi başka oyunlara da bakmayı istiyorum. Bir de videolara desteğiniz için hepinizden teşekkür ediyorum.
Don't you get it, Stanley? We need to get rid of the bucket. That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character.
Teşekkürleri borç bilirim. Umarım desteğiniz devam eder. İleride daha iyi şeylerle geleceğiz. Yani içiniz rahat olsun.
True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well fleshed out character with so much personality that to me it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree? Can you guess what the bucket destroyer does?
Abi niye elimdeki bucket'ı kovayı kırayım ya?
Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket. And then
goodbye to bucket. Yok abi, ben bunu atmak istemiyorum ya.
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the bucket destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows. That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the bucket destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of bucket destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for.
Bucket destroy yapamıyorum birader.
Okay, the bucket destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the bucket destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now. The fans are
bozuluyor.
waiting. Do it. The fans
Makine bozuluyor.
Stanley, give the fans
Makine
what
bozuluyor.
they
Give
want.
hayır hayır. Allah belanı vermesin. Korktum. Vallahi billahi korktum. Allah'ımıza mı kavuştuk? O ne lan?
Bucket destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spellbinding
Bucket
stories
destroyer.
about you. All of it
Kova
squandered now.
ne diyelim, kova parçalayıcı gibi bir şey.
For the moment
Güle güle
you
yeni
were
dostum.
here, you were magnificent.
Adam yani kova parçalayıcıyla duygusal bağ kurmuş ya. Bembeyaz kaldık mı?
All of his co-workers were gone.
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
Evet, bucket'ı diyor, kovayı da eline aldı diyor. Abi broom closet şu taraftaydı değil mi lan? Broom closet'ı yapalım.
But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this
Kahve
letter?
mavi
No,
içemiyoruz mu ya?
never mind. The bucket was wrong.
Aa, burada değil galiba.
To go back to the meeting room.
Tekrar yo git. Lan gitmediğimiz neresi kaldı?
No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good, said the bucket. Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Yukarıya çıktı mıydık lan?
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed
Buradan aşağı
him, of course,
atlasak
because
ölürüz.
buckets can't talk. But
Net.
Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had
Bir yer var orada.
spoken to him, and he
Orada bir yer var.
did whatever the bucket asked.
Allah'ıma bir yer var. Restart game. Ben çakarım bu sefer restart.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Hiç kimse kusura bakmasın, oraya gitmem lazım.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps Stanley
Ver.
picked up the bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Not with the bucket around.
Yalnız başına diyor.
Stanley
Öyle
clutched the
bir
bucket
şey diyor.
tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be
Bakalım orada
correct?
ne
Was
varmış,
this
oraya
no?
gidebiliyor muyuz?
Never mind.
Çünkü orada bir şey var. Bir şey var. Vallahi billahi var.
To go back to the meeting room. No, said the bucket. Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to a separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Yeniden mi başlattık?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
Beraber ama
Stanley
adventure
clutched the bucket
macera.
tightly to his chest and entered the door.
Şuradan gideceğim lan, tamam. Girdim. Brown closet burada mıydı? Yok. How we can find item? Trust the complete instinct. What we know. There will be a reward for finding them all. Buraları çeviren varsa bana ulaşsın.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of
Temizlik
jealousy.
odasında.
It's as
Bir
clear as
kovayla.
day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it.
Gerçekten mi?
It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your this is your companion and lifelong friend.
Şu an temizlik odasında olduğumuz için bayağı dalga geçiyor diyeyim. Ne arıyorsun, elinde kovayla, orada bir şey yok falan. Kafayı mı yedin?
I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined.
Bana ne?
Now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends, that your relationship is purely superficial and convenient, that your life is so banal and meaningless that you feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the
Apa çıktım bak, apladım.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken
1
that
2
risk?
B4 3.
All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss
Hepsi
was
ayrı bir
taking
şey
his
gösteriyor
place.
lan.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself,
Belki ben bir
I am
deliyim.
crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy?
Aynı
He
yere
asked the
çıktık lan yine.
The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all. That's strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket? This is all terribly wrong. Surely no good will come from this. Who knows what
Siktir git lan, kovam nerede benim? Ver lan kovamı. Kovamı ver birader. Birader kovamı ver.
Now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was of course very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh gracious, he exclaimed.
Evet,
Without my
şu an
bucket I've
havadayız.
gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance
Belki
now.
de biz bir rüyadayız, evet.
Calling to him. Stanley, Stanley, it's
Stanley, ben bir bakıtım. Ben bakıtım yani, ben kovayım, öyle bir şey diyor yani. Aha. Her yer kova. Gel Stanley. Bana
He
gel.
had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend. It was the only way to truly restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful. Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Gözünü kapattı.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Bu Macera adındaki bir kadın hikayesidir.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Macera üstünü giyindi, işte şeyini aldı ve yolda koşuşturan ölmüş. Elinde kova vardı. Mariella'nın elinde kova var. Kola ne lan?
Right away she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Mariella thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to provide with, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself.
My life kick ass. Ne? Siktir git.
All the way to work.
Arkadaşlar bu bölüm böyle olsun. Bu kadar olsun. Dediğim gibi yorumlara yazın. Dishonored, Assassin's Creed veya aklınızda herhangi bir oyun varsa nostalji yapabileceğimiz yazın mutlaka. Beğenmeyi ve abone olmayı unutmayın. Görüşmek üzere. Kendinize çok iyi bakın.